at. Mentioned sometimes these autoimmune diseases are in clusters, or somebody with IBD might be more prone to have another autoimmune disease. So why have an immunology institute? We're not an IBD institute. We're not a type 1 diabetes institute. Why have an immunology institute? And one important reason is because a lot of these immune system diseases can have common causes. So if you have inflammatory bowel disease, of course, you think your intestine is the center of the disease, and it is in fact the end organ. It is the part of your body that's not performing the way it should be. And if you have type 1 diabetes, it's the pancreas, and if you have rheumatoid arthritis, it's your joint. But in many cases, the underlying cause of these diseases, even though they have different end organs, is in fact the functioning of your immune system. And one illustration of that is the effectiveness of blockade of TNF, tumor necrosis factor, which is an immune mediator, a molecule that immune cells use to communicate with one another. And these are some of the drugs, and the representatives are right out there, and many of you, I'm sure, are too familiar with these drugs like ipilimumab or Remicade, Humira, Cimzia, Symphony, and so on. These things all block TNF, and they have many different indications. So they're obviously useful. They don't help everyone, but they help many patients with inflammatory bowel disease. They help some patients with rheumatoid arthritis. The TNF blockades can be a little different in that case, but with psoriasis and so on, the intestine, the joint, and the skin. So a primary cause of IBD is an immune system that does not function properly. And we have investigators here who work on IBD, but we also have investigators who work on arthritis and on type 1 diabetes. And we think the crosstalk between people with these different interests is very helpful. And somebody who's focused on IBD may actually come up with something that will benefit a different disease, or vice versa. So we don't know where the next treatment is going to come from, and where ultimately cures will come from. We're very proud of this place. We're about 24 years old. There's about 350 people who work here. We have 150 people who have a medical degree or a PhD degree, or even both in some cases. And because we are not primarily an educational institution, but a research institution, we don't have patients, and we're not designed to make a profit. We're here to generate knowledge. That's what we do. And sometimes people say, well, are you doing well? How can we measure what we do? Well, we're not bankrupt. That's one thing, of course. But this is what's called a citation index. It's a number that basically measures the impact of our knowledge that we're generating through publications. And we're very proud that we were ranked 5th in the world, 3rd in the United States. Here's Yale, here's a Harvard hospital, here's Scripps across the street, there's Washington University, St. Louis, and Stanford, and so on. You are sitting in one of the best places in the world for doing immunology research. So we're extremely proud of that. Now, of course, what we want to do is not just publish papers that a lot of other scientists read and cite and helps their research, but we want to try to help develop drugs that will actually treat people. We're not a drug company. So if we make a really good finding, we license it or hand it off to a drug company. And these are some of the discoveries from this institution that are under development. And I want to highlight this molecule, LIGHT. That's the name of a protein. I'm not talking about the stuff coming out of the ceiling here. And it's being developed with Sanofi and a Japanese company. And it's much more. It's now into early. This is an older slide. So it's now into early phase 2 trials as a treatment for inflammatory bowel disease. LIGHT, by the way, is a relative of TNF. So in your body, you have TNF, but you also have proteins or molecules that are related to TNF. LIGHT is one of them. We think it could be eventually blocking LIGHT could be a treatment for inflammatory bowel disease, and we've generated an antibody to LIGHT here that is in clinical development. We've partnered over the years with many agencies in our work. National Institute of Health.